up there, planet Earth, and happy Friday. I'm in a pretty decent mood this morning after watching the Yankees pull out the opening day win against the Astros. No better feeling than that, for sure. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. I'm hoping to get in some softball practice tomorrow. It's Friday, and it's always Friday with me, Stephen Fry, your SMB guy. ICYMI, or in case you missed it, SMB stands for Small and Medium-Sized Business. For the last 20 years, I've been a consultant for SMBs, a voice and a sounding board for business leaders, advocating on their behalf, their employees too. I believe very strongly, folks, in sharing stories, providing perspective, and creating connection. And I've shared a hell of a lot of stories this week. That's why I sound a little hoarse. But every single Friday, you could find me right here on talkradio.nyc doing just that, lending what's left of my mind and my voice to this radio show where I interview SMB leaders as well as their trusted advisors, the folks that guide them in the right direction. One thing that I've noticed very consistently over the years is that some of the best thought leadership for business folks, it actually happens on Friday, just about the time we feel that freedom of the weekend coming. However, we're also anxious to start the weekend. These crucial pearls of wisdom, they get overlooked, they get forgotten, they get eased aside in favor of fun activities and the freedom from work. Here on the show, we take advantage of that weekend freedom and clarity, and we'd like to discuss some popular topics that are on the minds of business leaders. Once again, the name of the show, not just a play on words. My last name means free in German. So I like the plays on words. I like alliteration. You guys all know that. But there is a little bit of deeper meaning here. I always like to have a little bit of method behind the madness. So one of my best friends actually celebrated a birthday this week. We got to see some live music, and I wore this hat in his honor. He's director of facilities management for Turning Point Restaurants, if you guys have ever been to one. If you haven't, and your area is lacking an awesome breakfast, brunch, and lunch facility, you should check them out because they are now franchising. So if your territory is open, maybe you should stake the rights to it and open your own Turning Point breakfast, brunch, and lunch facility. It's one of the best restaurants around. So my buddy Matt, been best friends for damn near 30 years at this point. It's unbelievable. My kids are officially on spring break, effective 2 p.m. yesterday, so I'm excited to spend some time with them this week. Hopefully they won't barge in on the show this morning. However, anything's possible. I'm still having a hard time, man, believing that it's the end of March already. Maybe it's because I'm still waiting for the construction on my house to be done. Maybe it's because I was hoping to be in beach body shape by the end of Q1. I can tell you confidently that that did not happen. So since I have getting my beach body back, which I'm not really sure I ever had one, but getting the beach body back, and now that spring break is starting, I thought we would chat a little bit about the journey to health and success. Excuse me, out of breath already. I want to talk about the journey to health and success. We want to live our dreams, not have our dreams outlive us. It is vital that we have sustained energy and health to do the things we want to do. It is imperative that we have sharpened focus so that we can make an impact with our work. It's very important to show up as the best version of ourselves, for those we care about, for our employees, for our kids. Now, hopefully I can keep myself in the best shape in front of them for this week, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of nerves I have left. My special guest today can show you how to transform, elevate, and thrive with proven solutions that fit seamlessly into your busy schedule. Talk is cheap. We're on talkradio.nyc. We don't want this to just be talk. The goal here is let's use the insight that we get on the business landscape and create more impact on Monday morning. That's the idea. It's far too often in my travels, the SMBs I work with, they're focused on some type of product that's going to solve all their problems, especially when you're talking the health and wellness industry. It's this diet, it's this nutrition program, it's this particular workout machine. Like, everybody's got an answer until they decide they're not sticking with it, and then they are twice the size they were before. So one consistent thing that I see out there is that products, they change every single day in everything that we do. Whether you're talking about your personal life, your business life, it really doesn't matter. There's no substitute for having the right people around you. You got to surround yourself with the right people. You're probably not going to be the best at everything. I know I'm not the best at everything. There's a couple things I do well. Shooting my mouth off is definitely one of them. Putting together a health and wellness program, probably not the guy to talk to for that. So you got to have the right people around you. You got to follow a good process. You do that, the right products will be there when you need them, everybody. Everything begins and ends with people. We're all people first. Even people who act like robotic business owners and employees, they're people first too. So, in the spirit of surrounding yourself with the right people, I'm very excited for our show today. Our very special guest is Angela Nelson. She is peak performance coach, recently renamed herself wellness strategist. I like that one. That's a good one. Her company is called Achieve Wellness Together. So, Angela, founder and owner of Achieve Wellness Together LLC, this is the site for those seeking high quality, effective, and efficient solutions to improve energy, clarity, and allow you to embrace life to its fullest potential. That sounds so great. I feel like I want to say it again, but I'm not going to because I want you to end up talking at some point. She specializes in easily integrating simple practices into busy schedules to amplify the success of clients. With a diverse background from the corporate world to entrepreneurship, Angela understands the challenges of self-care with a demanding schedule. From corporate realms to entrepreneurial ventures, Angela deeply understands the balancing act of self-care when being pulled in a million different directions. We haven't even talked about if Angela has kids yet, but I just doing the kid taxi thing for me is like the taxing on me. It's crazy. It drives them everywhere. She believes that living our dreams should not just be an aspiration. It necessitates sustained energy and robust health to actively pursue our passions. Sharpened focus is essential for impactful work, and presenting the best version of ourselves is crucial for personal fulfillment and nurturing relationships. I feel like I want to take you around with me for the rest of the day today. Angela is one of my newest friends and a phenomenal person to speak about with this topic. We're going to talk movies, TV, and music. You know I can't help myself. Joining us this morning from her home base in Asheville, North Carolina, my new friend with the best smile I've seen all week. Angela, welcome to Always Friday. This is my virtual world. I'm so happy you're here with me.
Thank you so very much, Stephen. I really appreciate this, and I am so happy to be here today. And I was just going to say, okay, I can pack up and go home. I mean, you've already finished everything for me.
It's amazing how often I get that too. Angela, the last two guests I've had on my show, they've been
Yeah.
friends of mine for many years. And we just met, and I felt like I had to have you on my show immediately. I love what you're doing and how you're doing it. I love your passion for trying to, come out with your own content and start building a podcast and building an audience. I'm excited for you. I would love to help you do that, but I'm even more excited for you to share your travels with everyone. Let's get into it. Talk to us a little bit about how you got where you are today.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's a long story, but I'll try to condense it down for the show purposes. So I was a busy entrepreneur, well, a busy person in a corporate job with trade show sales. So my home away from home was at the trade show, the conference hall. If anybody's ever been to Atlanta, Georgia, the Georgia
Colony
World
Center.
Congress Center. No, the World Congress Center, the big one that has like
Ah,
three different buildings, buildings A, B, and C. That was my workplace. On my feet, go, go, go. Loved it because I was able to meet people from around the world, and I just thrived in that environment. It was high pressure, high stress, high sales. It was all good. When I wasn't working, I was volunteering with two different hiking groups, leading hiking clubs. I was also volunteering with the National Park Service and also a local river keeper with river cleanup. So the environment is very important to me, and being outdoors offset the being indoors constantly go, go, go. I was always on my feet, and I was doing everything from rappelling, rock climbing, hiking, biking, kayaking, whitewater rafting, but not jumping out of an airplane because I'm not crazy. Not that crazy anyway.
uh, I'm ashamed to say, well, not ashamed to say, I did it when I was 23, and nowadays I have a heart condition, so I'm not going to do that anymore. But I did it in Switzerland. I did it in the Alps. It was a pretty cool spot to do it.
No way. That is awesome.
I'll tell you straight up, Angela, if you're never going to do it, it's actually very cool. The scariest part for me by far was the legs dangling out of the plane at 14,000 feet before you basically somersault out. I was
Yeah,
definitely a little terrified.
I can see that. What do they say? The hardest part is just getting started, or that first leap, if you will. Now, that's one heck of a leap.
I think I remember somebody who said that to you the other day. It says,
Yeah,
regarding doing a podcast, what's the
yeah.
hardest part?
I
Doing the
think
first one.
somebody said that to me. Yeah, yeah. The hardest one is the first one.
Yep. Yeah, and I know some people that the hardest part was the first one for skydiving, and now they're like on their 85th jumps and they're doing all kinds of crazy tricks and changing chutes in the air. And I'm like, dude, I'm good, man. I did it. I'm checking off the bucket list. Goodbye.
Was talking with a friend of mine recently, and he's an actor in Atlanta, and he said he just completed his 300th jump.
And how's his mental health? Is he
Oh,
okay?
as far as I know, he is, but we're friends, so I don't know. I don't know. But I have to draw the line at that. I'm like, look, I'll throw myself off the side of a cliff, but I'm not going to jump out of a plane. So no, I'm good. I'm good. I
Well,
like,
at least you're a little
to be
adventurous.
on
That's
firm
pretty
ground.
cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Love it. Love it.
Well, everything was going great in my life. I was very active, very outgoing, just always on the go and just enjoying every single thing that life had to offer. And it all came crashing down.
How did that
I
happen?
first it was my feet, and I thought, well, I mean, it was random. At first I had no idea what was going on. My feet. And they said, well, since you're on your feet all the time at work and at play, you've got plantar fasciitis. I'm like, what the heck is that? Well, then they jabbed a needle, cortisone or some into my, yeah, it didn't work. It made it worse. Anyway, long story short, more parts of my body started hurting and I was falling apart, literally. If you've ever eaten convention food, that's part of it.
Absolutely.
Or
I too have done national account work and traveled around the country. The
oh
Omni
my
Center in
gosh.
Atlanta was the one that I exhibited at, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, if you remember correctly, right? They all kind of blend
Yeah,
in together
there's
sometimes.
almost no way I'm remembering correctly.
And then it's like, do you even have time to eat? Do you even want to eat the food that's there? And then, you just kind of skip over. And so I didn't realize, but my body was taking impact from the lack of food, the lack of nutritious food, and the high stress lifestyle that I was living, and I wasn't quite supporting it the way I thought I was. So fast forward, I ended up going from very active to being totally sidelined. There were days where, and this progressed or digressed, should I say, over several years. And I'm very stubborn. I come from a long line of stubbornness. And so I'm like, no pain, no gain, just keep go, 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 go. That was my mindset at the time. And little did I know it was just making it worse. And finally, I went to the doctors and they're throwing out all these scary terms. Let's see, is it cancer? Is it MS? Is it lupus? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And the more you look up online, the crazier it gets, right? Which impacted and
You
added
can't do
to
that. You
the
can't start looking
stress.
online. It'll drive you crazy.
No, and it was. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Am I dying? I was. I didn't realize it. The doctors didn't tell me at first. They put me through a regimen of 15 different medications, not all at once, but we literally went through 15 different medications. All had side effects.
Mhm.
Of course, they had other meds that could combat those side effects. They had side effects. It ends up that my gallbladder, they wanted to take out my gallbladder. They said it was full of sludge and gallstones. My cholesterol was off the charts. My stress was insanely high, and my liver started failing. I was in so much pain. They said I was going to lose all my hair because the last treatment was chemo. They said there's nothing else we can do but chemo. Chemo, there's a time and a place. I'm not anti-medication. There's a time and place for medications. However, educate yourself. Know what you're getting into, know the side effects, know the possible,
Yeah.
things that you may be dealing with down the road.
Yeah.
And always try food first and any kind of holistic means. So I finally decided, enough is enough. It felt like the meds were taking me out faster than the actual, disease was. And so I made a decision on my own. I don't recommend anybody do this. I'm just saying for me, it was the right choice. I quit everything. They told me there's nothing else we can do. You need to get a wheelchair. You need to file for disability because I was losing my ability to walk, to move. It hurt to breathe, and I couldn't even get out of the house because I couldn't turn my hands to get the darn door open. I
I hate
couldn't
to
open up the
I hate
medications either.
I hate
Yeah,
to cut this off, but we got to take a
yeah,
quick break.
I
But
saw that.
I'm like blown away and hypnotized for a moment just because you're not the only one I've heard this type of story from. However, you're one of the very few that I've heard this story from where it kind of transformed into I want to help people in the area of health and wellness like as best that I can so that I'm presuming that so this doesn't happen to them. And like
Absolutely.
especially being a person who's on the go all the time, I am as well. I'm in sales strategy and business development. I was a serial conference attendee and exhibitor, and I still have some that I'm going to end up doing this year as well. It's rough, especially if you do multiple things on the road. It'll kill you fast. But we got to take this break. We will be right back with my new friend. This is Angela Nelson. She's a wellness strategist with Achieve Wellness Together. Stay with us, everybody.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a high-achieving, growth-oriented leader? Are you interested in developing your authentic leadership while creating a healthy, inclusive workplace? Hi, I'm Dr. Mira Brancu, host of The Hard Skills on talkradio.nyc at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, where we discuss how leaders develop the hard skills needed to make a greater impact. We interview experts, have live coaching, and tackle these challenges. Listen to The Hard Skills on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a business owner? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you work with business owners? Hi, I'm Stephen Fry, your small and medium-sized business or SMB guy, and I'm the host of the new show, Always Friday. While I love to have fun on my show, we take those Friday feelings of freedom and clarity to discuss popular topics on the minds of SMBs today. Please join me and my various special guests on Friday at 11 a.m. on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC. Uplift, educate, empower.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday. It's always Friday. And it's me, Stephen Fry, your SMB guy. We are chatting with Angela Nelson. She's a wellness strategist with Achieve Wellness Together. We were just listening to Angela's heartfelt story of her journey, of what precipitated her starting her own health and wellness-oriented business. And we were going over time, and I was almost crying, so it was real hard to cut it off. So I definitely want to get back to that. But just a quick perspective, if you will, just if I can. This is Angela. This is the time before we kick off the second segment, the method segment, where I typically like to sit out by my fire pit, if you will. And I'm going to show a morning picture because what I have to say is relevant to the morning, right? And this is actually a couple weeks ago. The fire was still burning in the morning. I made a good one. But where I live in central New Jersey, and I imagine where you live in Asheville by the Smoky Mountains, both the sunsets and the sunrises are absolutely beautiful. And especially when you're on the go all the time, when you're running conferences or you're a salesperson like I am, you don't sometimes, definitely don't stop and smell the roses. Also don't stop and drink in some of the beautiful sunrises and sunsets either. So one of my concerted decisions I've made as of late, and this is after living in my house for now 10 years, as it's being worked on, and I can't stand being around here with stained fumes and paint and sanders and all kinds of crap. I like to get out and go for a walk these days, and I made it a standard part of my regimen on a daily basis before I do anything now. Anything. Right when I get up, I take a walk around my neighborhood. My neighborhood's not huge. Don't get excited. I'm not walking any sort of miles or anything. It's like 3 streets. It's no big deal, right? But I find that it's like we tend to overcomplicate everything. I tend to overcomplicate things, not on the show. I try to be a good geek translator on the show so we can really make some good impact here. But it's really simple sometimes to take a couple minutes and put something like that in your schedule that can be life-changing for the day. And the idea of working with folks who are entrepreneurs and on the go and 20-minute workouts that they can really see a difference with, those are very impactful discussions nowadays, just because all of us are on the go. All of us have trouble unplugging from work. I really would like, that's another concerted effort I'd like to make moving forward, is to not have my phone in my bedroom when I'm going to sleep, kind of thing. It's real hard to unplug, but just taking a freaking walk first thing in the morning. So George Carlin said that at some point. Doesn't anyone just take a fucking walk anymore? I remember that routine. But yeah, it's like just beautiful sunrises, take a quick walk around the neighborhood, get some fresh air, get the blood flowing, and then maybe even a quick workout in the little gym that hopefully will be done when all of this is done in my house. But just something, little bits that you can integrate into the schedule. Again, it's all about just creating some better habits. And I can tell you straight up that I do not have the beach body I was anticipating, because my habits on a daily basis do not lend themselves to the beach body. So, Angela, let's talk to you a little bit about the method behind your madness. And again, I'll preface it by saying I love when my special guests have some really cool, clearly laid out copy on their website. But this is the method part of the show, the science behind what you do. Simply put, what do you do? How do you do it? How do you go to market for it? We met very, very recently. I love what you're doing. I want you to talk to everybody else about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again. Oh my goodness. Well, like I said, with my journey, I decided to, just find a different way, right? And so with what I found, I want to share those solutions with other people. And so with my programs, I can help people like yourself, people that are on the go, people that are constantly, striving to be the best you can be. But let me ask you this. Okay, here's a good analogy for you. How many people take better care of their vehicles than they do their bodies?
That's also a sore
Yeah.
subject for me this week. One of my friends borrowed my car and it's not working right anymore.
Oh, uh-oh.
I have a
Yeah,
couple
we'll have
cars.
to.
So it's okay. Don't worry. I'm a big cars guy.
Well, we do all this work on our cars, we make sure the tires are rotated and balanced. We use the proper gas and we just make sure everything's good, have the tires inflated just so. But when it comes to us, we expect to keep pouring from an empty cup. We take care of everybody but ourselves. We've got our families, significant others, children. If you have kids, then you've got PTA, parent teacher conferences. Oh my gosh. And don't forget all the sports they're involved in, all
Well,
the
I
many
have I have
places you've got to
daughters, so
take
we
them
live.
to, right?
I have daughters. We live at the dance school 5 days a week, which
Oh my gosh.
I just got a new car recently, and I made sure that I could put a video game system in the back seat, so while I'm waiting for them, I could totally entertain myself.
There you go. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. I've got a challenge for you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. If it's a
You
nice
want
day,
me to
get
walk
out.
around the parking lot, don't you?
Yes, I do. How'd you know?
I knew it was going there, man. You're so good. You're good.
See, it wasn't even my idea. You said it. So there you go. I think that's a great idea, Stephen. I think that's excellent. You can walk around for a bit, you get your walk in, next thing you know, boom, a mile's down. They come out of dance class and they're like, what have you been doing? Taking care of
Walking.
dad, right? Walking. Yeah. They're gonna say, what's different? And it's just that easy. It's simple, simple choices. I am so against diets.
Yes.
Diets rebound. You alluded to this earlier that people are on all these diets. Oh, the latest fad. Let's do this. Everybody else is doing this. My friend had great results, lost 50 pounds in a week.
I got to
All right.
introduce you to my friend Lauren. She was actually in my first episode of 2023.
Yeah,
She lives locally by me in Central Jersey. She's a nutritionist, and her company is called Don't Diet Dietitian.
I love that.
So
Yes.
cool, such a great concept. It's been very well received as of late. But back to
Oh
you for a
yeah.
moment, right? I don't
Yeah.
like to necessarily go down crazy bulleted lists of services that are offered, but I feel
Yeah.
like yours are very on purpose with purpose, right? So you have the nutrition side of things, right? And I
Yes.
don't know if that's necessarily are you a nutritionist? Is that one of your pieces and arrows in the quiver at this point? Do you partner with
I
them?
am not a certified nutritionist at this time. However, I am learning as I go. And that's the
Definitely
same
talk to
thing
Lauren.
that I expect from clients. Yeah, learn as you go. It's all about educating, and education and knowledge is power. So definitely, just check out the labels. I mean, just simple things. Yeah.
So again, I don't necessarily like to read things verbatim, but there's some cool stuff on here. And again, I like to steal content from people's websites when I like it. So it says, discover the transformative power of nutrition derived from the essence of fruits and vegetables. Our unique approach integrates the concentrated goodness of nature's offerings designed to enhance your daily diet. So you have that transformative power in there too. And like I told you, I'm a big ADHD guy. So so is my buddy Tommy, who's on right before me. But transform, elevate, and thrive. Like these are words that are awesome for you to stick by and live by, and they're right next to your smiley face on LinkedIn. It's perfect, right?
Cute.
And then for nutrition, it says experience a seamless blend of convenience and wholesomeness tailored for the busy professional. Embrace a way of nourishing that bridges the gap between what you eat and what your body truly needs, leading to enhanced vitality and well-being. So give me a quick 2 seconds on what this is. Like, what are you
Quick
doing?
2 seconds. Yes, on what this is. I have several different tools. My favorite tool that was a game changer for me is a product called Juice Plus.
Okay.
And this product is simply fruits and vegetables that have been pulverized, minimally processed, dried, and put into concentrated plant powders. So it's kind of like your herbs if you have basil, oregano, paprika,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's just in capsules that I have back here, as a matter of fact, or chewables that the kids love. And it's an easy way to have that nutritional foundation, because without the foundation of nutrition, anything else you do is going to be kind of subpar. You
Yeah.
need that foundation. You need proper gas in your vehicle.
So, everybody likes to talk about, health and money and peace and everything. And again, I'm a process oriented guy, right? So I look at it as your health comes first, even though I don't necessarily emanate that. I like a good time, right? So the health has to come first. If you have your health, you have nothing. Then I like to think happiness should come next, because happiness is a very big state of mind type of thing, right? Like,
Yes.
you can, no matter what, you can give people a smile. And by the way, you're phenomenal at that. So I really dig that in a person. And if no matter what, you can give somebody a smile, hey man, how bad could the world be? And then you have the
Thank
idea
you.
of peace, right? So peace is a tricky one because, I'm a big hippie at heart type of guy. Peace is a big one because you have to have inner peace, and you also have to have peace outside externally. So that gets to be dicey sometimes. But then, like, the wealth part comes into play. And I keep thinking to myself and saying to others, including folks on my show, that if you have all the money in the world, but you don't have those first three things, health, happiness, and peace, you're probably still not going to be happy. Okay.
This is true.
Happiness is one of the categories anyway. So anyway, this is the way that I like to rationalize life. And if I can't come up with it, I look to George Carlin and or The Simpsons to guide me the way. So guide me along the way. So your other services here, a couple of them definitely get into the madness, which I can't wait to discuss with you. But, as far as the next thing that's on your services, you said home harvest, right? And
Yes.
this is funny because I was at my brother-in-law's house. I was talking to you from my car. I had just picked up some awesome Mexican food that we all completely devoured. And I go into his basement for a minute to actually take another phone call. And I see a little garden thing in the corner with the lights and everything. I just thought he was growing weed, but he wasn't. He was growing organic vegetables. So under your home harvest discussion, you say, elevate your well-being by growing fresh, nutritious produce in your own space. Our aeroponic garden system simplifies gardening, allowing you to harvest wholesome fruits and vegetables right at home. I should have figured that this is something that you'd be into, growing your own stuff in your own place, especially in Asheville. You could probably start a decent farm outside if you wanted to. Do you have them?
Absolutely. You can
So-
grow anywhere with this. And it's so important to grow your own food because you know where it comes from, that no pesticides have been added, that it is organic.
Yes.
And it's simple and it's easy, even if you don't have a green thumb.
Yep. So you say further, this approach connects you with the source of your food, ensuring freshness and purity. It's a rewarding, sustainable way to enhance your diet, bringing the bounty of nature directly to your table. Embrace this empowering green solution to nourish both your body and soul. Considering the whole focus of talkradio.nyc is uplift, educate, and empower, I would say we're going along the right track here, people. So this is some really good stuff. We got to take a break, but when we come back, not only are we going to get into the madness with my friend Angela here, we'll talk about the other two offerings, which are absolutely bound to lend themselves to madness stories, which are fitness and virtual coaching. But we got to take this break. So we'll be right back. We're chatting with Angela Nelson. She's a wellness strategist with Achieve Wellness Together. Stay with us.
Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host the program Philanthropy in Focus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Were you an essential worker during the pandemic? If you needed to learn stages of epilepsy, did you depend on advocates? Did you use new innovations to cope with mental and neurological issues? Maintaining high quality of life and keeping good mental health are what we all strive for. I'm Frank R. Harrison, host of Frank About Health, and each week top healthcare influencers, professionals, and innovators answer these questions and more. Stay tuned on Thursdays at 5 p.m. on talkradio.nyc, and I will continue to be frank about health with all of you.
Are you a business owner? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you work with business owners? Hi, I'm Stephen Fry, your small and medium-sized business or SMB guy, and I'm the host of the new show, Always Friday. While I love to have fun on my show, we take those Friday feelings of freedom and clarity to discuss popular topics on the minds of SMBs today. Please join me and my various special guests on Friday at 11 a.m. on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Welcome back to Always Friday with me, Stephen Fry, your SMB guy. We are chatting with my new friend, Angela Nelson. She's a wellness strategist with Achieve Wellness Together. Angela, you got some great stuff that we're talking about here. Very excited to bring people into the madness of what you do, which I have no doubt is significant at this point. Your own story from what you've, what you shared with us from how you kind of got into this is very heartfelt and kind of cool to hear that, again, I've heard of plenty of people that have had, some trials, tribulations, adversity, health issues. Myself, I've had 2 colorectal surgeries, and I'm sorry to say that there might actually have to be a third one at some point. Not that I was trying to share my entire health history with everybody, but I don't wish that kind of stuff on anybody. And I know that I could definitely control it a little better with diet and maybe volume of intake here and there, but hey, I'm a foodie. It's a little crazy. But the other 2 services that we were getting to in the last segment, offered by this wonderful organization and this very smiley woman from Asheville, North Carolina, are along the roots of fitness. Everybody knows they need to stay in shape, right? It's everybody's favorite New Year's resolution. I interviewed my buddy Jim Getz in the first episode of the year. He's somebody who's extremely focused on health and wellness. He works in a chiropractic and integrative health and wellness practice that he started. And I am a member of said establishment, and I haven't been there in a long time again at this point, and I need to get my butt back there. I know that. But it's something that a lot of people, just like the clarity they get on Fridays right before the weekend, they sweep it under the rug and they forget about it. So I'm sure you've had some madness happen around that. The world of virtual coaching is an interesting one, especially for something like this. Lots and lots of virtual coaching these days. I've interviewed plenty of them on the show here, and there's a lot of power that you can get with a virtual coach, especially doing something like this. But, sometimes people have a hard time conceptualizing it because they feel like they need something that they can touch and be physically in the presence of. I mean, a lot of people have had to pivot since the pandemic and do things virtually. I, for one, have always done things virtually, and while I love technology enablement, I always think there's no substitute for shaking hands, giving hugs, kissing babies, and having the occasional cocktail, even though I know that's not necessarily health and wellness friendly. But Angela, I'm dying to hear some of the madness from your world. You got to give us some stories from the field.
Oh my goodness. Well, some of the madness, and I love how you talk about the virtual, world became more accessible. It was always there, but we had to utilize it more, right? Over the past few years. And it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And people want to be met where they are. So they want
Yes.
things that are accessible, And so it's all about making it easy, accessible, and doable. Because if it's not, what are you going to do? So
Find
you're
one that
just going to
is.
keep doing what you're doing, right? So just little simple steps. And one example, I have a friend of mine, Dave, and we've been friends for a long time. We actually met in one of the hiking groups I was involved in. And Dave is on the go. He just works now. He works from home, but he also does a lot of conventions, a
Yep, me
lot of
too.
tours, and his wife works in the hospital and she's working like 16-hour shifts. It's insane because of a shortage. And I digress. I won't go there, but our nurses, oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
love you, all of you. I so appreciate what you do.
yeah,
And our
definitely.
doctors, all of our medical professionals, everybody is stretched so thin. And you want to be able to, again, make sure things are easily integrated in. So they have a daughter. Now they have two. So their first daughter, she was like, no, I don't want vegetables. I don't want fruits. I don't want anything but,
Yep.
like her cheese puffs, right? Most kids,
That's my second one. She only eats like three things. My older one eats everything.
Yeah, well, they purchased one of these aeroponic gardening systems, and it has been a win-win. They actually had to move it because she was reaching over in her high chair, grabbing vegetables and eating it right off the tower, which you can do. Now she's actually craving it because there's something called metabolic conditioning. With metabolic conditioning, you crave more of what you eat. That's
Yes.
why
Yes.
it's so important. Just start somewhere. Get this nutrition into your body that your body needs. Feel the difference. And then next thing you know, like my husband, you'll stop craving things from like big bomb burritos at a convenience store
Oh, I don't know.
to
I like big bomb burritos.
you too. Oh no.
Not
When
from the
we first
convenience store
met,
necessarily.
that's what he was eating. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Now he is the one saying, let's have a salad for dinner. And I'm like, okay,
Not
sounds
so
good,
much
Dave.
7-Eleven, but I do like Wawa. Wawa is hard to beat when you're in a flash, and it's suburbia. It's in
Yes,
the middle of the night. It's open. It's cool. Not that it's good to eat in the
that's
middle of the
another
night. So
thing.
I'm
Eating
sorry.
late at night.
I can't disrupt any of my bad habits. It's really bad.
Good. I'm making a list. I'm making a
I know.
list.
I know.
No,
And
no,
you're checking it twice.
it's all
So
good. I was going to say that. Yeah.
so you say on here, right? Like, not only
Mhm.
is your journey that you had yourself, like with some challenges, overcoming yourself, big time understanding of nutrition, big time changes in lifestyle, and now better resilience, committed to the whole cause. And the next thing that you have on your website, again, love good copy when it surrounds all of this. It says point blank, we're not just about offering products and services. And I was like, thank God, somebody who understands humanity, hopefully, right? We're about inspiring change and empowering individuals. There's that uplift, educate, and empower again. And there's the idea also that I like to abide by, from weekend insight to Monday impact, right? Angela's expertise, coupled with her genuine care, provides a supportive environment for your health and success journey. Whether you're seeking to enhance your nutrition, embrace fitness, or find balance, Angela's approach is tailored to align with your life's ambitions. I see a whole bunch of awesome testimonials that I'm going to share with everybody shortly. And what I just read from your website sounds great, and not product centric, more people centric. Tell me about some of the madness of challenges you've had with certain people that didn't make it to the promised land and onto the testimonial saying you're as kick ass as we all know you are. What were some of their mindsets about, like, when you're trying to tell them about how you do things, the method behind your madness? Give us some of the madness that came out of some of those interactions. I'm very curious.
Oh, some of the madness. Well, another customer that I work with closely is actually a CNA, certified nursing assistant. She's
Sure.
very busy, as you can imagine, and she doesn't eat. She really doesn't eat. When I asked her to give me just an idea of what a day looks like, it wasn't anything. She's skipping breakfast. she's working through lunch and then she tries to cram in dinner late, after she deals with the kids. And she ended up having rotator cuff surgery last year on her right arm, her right shoulder. And it took her a whole 6 months to start healing to where she could get back to work again. And then she had the same exact month, almost to the day, she had her left rotator cuff that needed to be, that needed to be worked on as well, not removed. Oh my gosh, but have, surgery on that as well. I know, it's like,
No way.
if only, right? Take it off, put a new one in. Yeah. So through our programs, we worked closely together and helped her with her nutrition. And she ended up reducing the inflammation, which is a lot of times that is the cause of pain. That is the cause of stiffness. And that's the cause of, trying to heal. It's a natural part of healing. However, if you have too much, then you're in a lot of pain and you're losing your mobility. And she actually cut her time in half, her recovery time, 3 months, and went back to work. She said, it's good, but it's bad because I didn't want to come back to work yet. So that was part of the madness, was trying to, work with her mentality of going back to work so soon and helping her emotionally adjust, so
This is
that was part of the madness.
this is Dawn's story, I believe. If I took it
Yes,
off
yes, that is Dawn. Yes.
So 2 shoulder surgeries. The first, before working with Angela, took 6 months to heal. The second, while implementing the simple strategies Angela provided, took half the time to heal with less pain. I think I told you last night that I'm a huge fan of Old Man Washed Up Softball.
Yes.
So my draft just happened. I'm going to be practicing tomorrow. I should definitely have some referrals for you of people who have all kinds of rotator cuff issues. There's prevalent old man washed up softball rotator cuff injuries that happen in my league, for sure.
Especially with fast pitch, right? So
Well, we don't do fast pitch. We do slow pitch arc, but even still, we still get plenty of injuries. Well, what do you expect when the ages of the league are 18 to 81? Actually, the 81-year-old just retired. He's like, yeah, I'm done. It's time to pass the torch.
I love those ages, though. I love that everybody can get out there and do that. And that's a big piece of it, just get out and move. But like you alluded to earlier, do what brings you joy and happiness, because if it's not making you happy, if you're not finding joy in it, what's the point?
Yeah, no, I have enough obligations in this life, especially chauffeuring my kids back and forth to dance, where I want, like, the things that I, really committed to, that I go out of the house for, and that I, want to distance myself from work and all of that. I love to play golf. I love to play softball, and those things probably aren't gonna die off anytime soon. I love both of those things, so I got to keep the parts working so I can play both of those sports for the upcoming season. But with a focus on nutrition and fitness and balanced living, this type of coaching, virtual coaching, it's crafted to align with your busy lifestyle and personal aspirations. Just like Angela said, you got to meet people where they are, whether you're talking accounting, finance, marketing support. That's a big one that a bunch of my marketing folks talk about all the time, is you got to meet people where they are, especially if it's their first time getting into marketing versus people who've done it no problem for years upon years. Great stuff. Love it. You need to start your own show on this network. I absolutely want to see you here shortly. We got to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with my new friend, Angela Nelson. She's a wellness strategist with Achieve Wellness Together. Stay with us, people.
Are you a high-achieving, growth-oriented leader? Are you interested in developing your authentic leadership while creating a healthy, inclusive workplace? Hi, I'm Dr. Mira Broncu, host of The Hard Skills on talkradio.nyc at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, where we discuss how leaders develop the hard skills needed to make a greater impact. We interview experts, have live coaching, and tackle these challenges. Listen to The Hard Skills on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc.
Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host a program, Philanthropy in Focus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour Awakening Humanity, Thursdays 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Welcome back to Always Friday with me, Stephen Fry, your SMB guy. We are chatting with my new friend, Angela Nelson. She's a wellness specialist with Achieve Wellness Together. This has been an awesome discussion, Angela. I'm serious. You have to come onto this network and do your own live show. Everybody loves to hear things about health and wellness these days. So you just got to come here and do it. Uplift, educate, empower. You got the right idea. So let's roll. Angela, this is the message part of the show. When I started my show 3.5 years ago, I did it with this logo on a free logo maker, and a new one my cousin drew for me. You know, still an evolving process, a couple other things I want to do to it, but you know, I'm a big fan of the newer one. Original tagline, and this really hasn't changed, from Weekend Insight to Monday Impact. This is the idea, right? We're about to hit the weekend. We want to leave people with some sound bites that really resonate over the weekend. And, you know, going back to your illustrious website with your awesome content and your testimonials, right? You know, just a couple quick more I want to throw at you guys just so you hear this, right? Kim says, we love eating all the veggies we grow. My daughter has finally found lettuce she will eat and likes. Forget farm to table. This is tower to table. Homegrown tastes the best. Beautiful. Love it. Yana says, I tried everything to get rid of my cystic acne. After working with Angela, I started seeing positive changes in my skin. Haven't had a breakout since. Beautiful. Dan says, it's fantastic to work with someone who is so genuinely interested in my health needs. That comes directly, like, to me, again, I start every show talking about people first, good process, then product. She has it right on the website. We're not just about selling products and services, people, right? That's not what it's about. It's about learning who your people are, know your audience, and meet them where they are. That's what I get out of all this, Angela, but we're not here to listen to me. Well, maybe some people are. But we want to hear from you, right? What are some of the sound bites that everyone should take with them over the weekend? And, you know, if they really want to get their asses in gear, they, you know, especially beach season's coming, man. Memorial Day weekend's 2 months away. I don't ever have the ability to go to the beach on Memorial Day because it's always dance recital weekend. La-di-da. Ruined every Memorial Day.
Jazz hands.
Ruined every single Memorial Day weekend since we moved to the suburbs. But, yo, I love it. God bless my daughter. She's in a million dance routines. It's beautiful. But let's hear from you, right? From Weekend Insight to Monday Impact, what kind of pearls of wisdom do we want to drop on everybody, and how do we get them in touch with you?
Pearls of wisdom. I would say just start where you are. It's never too late to integrate simple changes into your life to get healthier. And healthy is a state of mind. It's like, you know, wake up, like you said, wake up and go outside, smell the roses, take a walk. You know, if it's, you know, nice outside, if it's cold, whatever, bundle up, go. Enjoy yourself. You know, pause, put your phone away, and just take a moment, step away from the monitor, and just, you know, be joyful. You're alive. I met a guy a long time ago, must have been like 98 years old. And he was whistling and walking. And I was looking at him. I said, what are you so happy about? You know, I was a disgruntled teenager at the time. And he said, young lady, every day above ground is a good day. And that has stuck with me. You know, if we're here for a reason. So make the most of it. You know, find that reason.
I'm not a big tattoo guy. I have a whole bunch of friends who are. I don't have any. But one of my best friends has tattooed on his chest in 4 different languages, every day is a gift. And he's had it for years, and he's never stood by it more than now because he actually lost his younger brother last year at the age of 40 years old. But not to put a damper on everything, but I truly believe that as well. Every day is a gift. Every day you spend above ground is good.
It is a gift, absolutely.
Let's
And
talk.
the
Oh, go ahead.
last
Sorry.
nugget I want to say is health, getting healthy can be easy. And I can show you how.
So, I think I mentioned this to you at some point, or maybe not, but I would say that getting healthy can be simple. Nothing worth doing in this life, nothing worth doing in this life is easy. Because if it was, everybody would do it. I work with not just virtual coaches for things like this, and you guys should too if you need help. Like if you're not somebody who's adept at nutrition and having simple exercises and fitting it into your scheduling your ideal day for personal care. It's like you talk with a business coach, talk with a health and wellness coach like this, right? Talk with somebody like Angela. Speaking of gifts, I know that you had something you wanted to offer to everybody, but just up in the background there right now, if you go to LinkedIn and you follow Angela Nelson, Achieve Wellness Together, she has a newsletter called The Energized Entrepreneur. I love that thought.
Thank
Right?
you.
I mean, it's great. We want to make sure that we have energy to be the best that we can be and have our best selves show up.
Absolutely. Because if we don't show up as our best, then not only our personal relationships can, falter under that. Maybe you get snippy, with somebody that you didn't mean to, but also you can't power your purpose if you're lacking in sleep, lacking in energy, if you can't think clearly. We all have missions. We all have things we believe passionately in. Maybe we want to play old man softball and you can't get out there if you feel cruddy. So you want to make sure, again, you fuel your body correctly. So, and you got me. Yeah, it can be simple. Thank you. Simple, not easy because, there is work involved. So step up to the plate and, let me pitch you some ideas to put a softball spin on it.
Love it. Love every aspect of that. I love softball analogies for this. The best way to get started with Angela, she does have a Calendly link for 30-minute consultation. Again, this is something that is really custom tailored for everybody, right? What works for one client of Angela's is not going to work for another one. You can check out her website, achievewellnesstogether.com. You could email her, Angela at achievewellnesstogether.com. There will be a Calendly link through the website. I'll have it in the show notes where you guys can schedule a 30-minute consultation and figure out just how you guys can work together with a trained professional like Angela. How does that sound? How bad could it be?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Angela, talk to us a little bit about what you were talking. You had a link to something else in the background that you were.
Yeah, I do. I've got a nutrition cheat sheet for busy professionals. So as we said, everybody is so busy, a lot of times you want to skip meals or you just simply don't have time between dance recitals and, going home and doing this and doing that. And then you've got a podcast to run. It's like, when do you eat?
I wonder who you're talking
is
about.
Not pointing
Who is
out
this
at
maniac?
anybody. Yeah, it's a complimentary nutrition cheat sheet, if you will. And it's just a few little tips. It's a one pager because I know, again, you don't need a 30-page, album to tell you what to do. Just check it out and see what you think. And if you like it, maybe we can work together further.
Sounds fantastic. You, again, love what you're doing and how you're doing it. The story behind it is damn near unparalleled. Again, bravo to you for rising above, what was happening with your own health and, using it to create resilience and to spread a better message of health and wellness to people. That's a phenomenal story. And you need to tell it more often and you need to talk to other people who are in the same world. And I'm not going to stop annoying you until that happens. So I'm very excited for that. Angela, a pleasure to have you on the show today. Really nice to meet you as of late. Again, the last couple of guests I interviewed, one I know for 15 years, the other one I know for 30 years. It's like, I know you for a week. Love it. Great. Awesome conversation. Want you to come on this station and have many more. Before I let you go for the weekend, I am going to share with the audience the answers that you gave to my favorite questions. Who is your favorite movie or TV show character? What's your favorite movie or TV show? What's your favorite movie or TV show? And what's your favorite musical instrument? And who's the artist you'd like to hear play it? So real quick before we wrap this up, somebody's got a Jason Statham fetish. And I would have thought she had a hall pass, but she's like, no, I chose my husband instead of Jason. I had a chance at it, She's totally modest and everything, but she gave me 3 movies of Jason Statham. H from Wrath of Man, which H is what we call my daughter Hayden for short. So considering her, like thinking of her as a big badass is cool. I gotta say, I have trouble looking at your face on Jason Statham because you just look too nice and smiley. But he always has kind of the same look. What's his name? Chev Chevalios from Crank also. And then you had one of my favorites that I would have absolutely said. You said Handsome Rob from The Italian Job. I would have also said Turkish from Snatch. That's one of my favorite movies. Another Guy Ritchie movie on top of the stack. But Handsome Rob, very decent character. Hard to mess with.
Handsome Rob is the best. He is the best.
You said your favorite movie is Heat. You actually said you couldn't tell me your favorite movie because it's your password for everything. So it's not Heat, don't worry, but it's the next favorite movie. It's about, Heat, a group of high-end professional thieves start to feel the heat from the LAPD when they unknowingly leave a verbal clue with their latest heist. You like The Italian Job? You like Heat? Or is there something you're not telling us? Do you have a secret desire to pull some bank jobs? What's the deal?
No, only in Italy. No.
Only, yeah, exactly. So you said your favorite instrument's the guitar, and you said Tim Morello, and I thought that might have been Tom Morello's brother. You said Tom Morello, right? Tom Morello, he's big in the Guitar Hero games, known for Rage Against the Machine, and also has toured with Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. For us Jersey people, we love that. Yeah. Funny enough, Tom actually did a show, a podcast with one of my heroes, Tim Ferriss. You ever listen to anything from Tim Ferriss?
Yes, I love Tim Ferriss. Absolutely.
Yeah, so he's the author of the 4-Hour Work Week and the author of the 4-Hour Body. So it was kind of funny that you were like, yeah, Tim Morello. I was like, well, no, not Tim Morello, but he has interviewed with Tim Ferriss as of late, and that's pretty damn cool. I like that. So love it. Again, Angela, I really appreciate you coming on. Love what you're doing. Love how you're doing it. Love what it can mean for other people, and excited to help you spread the message. Great discussion today.
Thank you. It's been amazing. I appreciate your time and the audience as well. And Tom Morello, yes.
Tom Morello, yes. Guitar Battle and Guitar Hero 3. Logan's all over it. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yes,
I'm going to be running around with...
Today is Friday, and today is Good Friday.
Good. It's always Good Friday today. I'm going to be running around with my kids for spring break. You never know. Maybe I'll have someone hang with me on Friday morning next week to take a break from my kids. They keep asking to be interviewed. I'm not sure if I can handle that. We'll see what happens. Until then, thank you for joining us on Always Friday. We hope that you gain some weekend insight to make that Monday impact. Have a great weekend. We will see you 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Fridays here on talkradio.nyc. Bye-bye, everybody.